Hiya, welcome back everyone. Glad you can join us again. Well, what I'm going to do today, I'm actually back on Trigger's broom, so that's good news. Now, I did get this headlight before. See, I wasn't totally happy with it, but I'm sticking with it. It's a Lucas type, and I've managed to fit in the LED headlight which I have, and it's got LED indicators around the outside, and I've got a proper Lucas lens as well. So that's all going to fit into here, and there is quite a lot of room in here. And what I'm going to try to do is put a lot of the electronics inside here so that it's a bit minimalistic for the bike. Nothing, you know, there's less bits and pieces scattered around the bike. A lot of it's in here. Now going to there, I've got the flash unit, which is for the LED indicators, so need that in there. I've also got a relay because the switches on the handlebars, they're very tiny and they'll not handle the current for the horn, so I'm putting a relay in there. And this, I think it's not sure if it's a 10 amp or something. Yeah, 10 amp relay, so that'll handle more than enough current which is needed for the horn. So that's to take the strain off the switch, so that's got to go in there. And for the high and low beam, I've got these little things, you can see that, which is just an eBay job. I know it's probably only made in China, something like that, but they are a latch and relay, so that when you press the button, see on the handlebars, it's a changeover relay, so it changes between the centre terminal and either the left or the right one each time you press the button. So if you've got it on the headlights, you can press it once, it'll flip up to main beam, press it again, it'll go back to dip beam. So that's ideal for that. I've also got another two of these which I'm using for the indicators as well. So as you click the right indicator, it'll latch across, this one will latch on, click it again, it'll latch off again. And for the left indicator button, I'll have another one, and again latches on and off. Now when I press both of them, then that means that both indicators will flash at the same time, so it'll be like hazard warnings, I suppose. The danger is that you're going to leave both of them on together, but I have seen other bikes which are similar to this, so that should be fine. Right, now I didn't want them loose because if you look at them, they've got a little bit of a, I don't know if you can see that, a little bit of electronics on there. It's a printed circuit board, and this headlight is not going to be totally watertight or moisture tight. It will get some moisture in there, and to try to protect them, what I'm going to do is make some little boxes to fit them in. I searched on the internet for little plastic boxes to put them in, which would be a nice tight fit in there, so I could put them inside the headlight. But every one I've seen, they were either massive or too small. You might get the right length and width, but then the height was too high and things like that. The only thing which I found near was this plastic conduit, or trunking should I say, plastic trunking, which you can get out of Screw Fix with the end caps. And what I've done with the end cap, I've cut it down to size and getting it to fit in. So I'm going to make some little boxes to fit the circuits inside of there, and I'll show you how I do that later. But to start off with, we've got the headlight, and it's got a hole in which I think has been for an ammeter or something like that, and I'm going to first of all block that off with a piece of tin plate. So I've got a bit of tin plate, I'm going to weld it round, and then put a little bit of filler on, because this is going to be sprayed. I'm not sort of at Craig Jones's standards where I'll be welding a piece in there and sanding it down and it'll look like invisible mending on there. I'm not that good yet, so I will be spraying it and using a little bit of bodywork filler. So I'll get a piece of tin and I'll get on with that. Right, I found a piece of plate the same thickness as the headlight. It's had water spilt on it in storage. It's got a little bit of surface rust, but I've cleaned it off and it's not pitted, so I'm going to use that. Right, so I've got my little leather bag with I don't know, it's sand or lead shot in it. I've got my little mallet to try and round it just to make it the same curvature as this lamp. I know it's not much, but I'm no expert at this. I'm just starting off, so I'm going to give it a try with a little easy job. Right, it's starting. It's getting a little curve on it. The only thing is trying to compare it with this. And it doesn't seem bad there at the minute. I think that may be enough. Maybe it's a little bit side to side. Seem to have more curve in it that way than that way. But what I'll do is I'll cut that out, and then we'll go on to the next stage. Right, this roll of tape is just slightly bigger than that hole, so I'm going to use that to mark around. And I'm not going to cut it to the exact size yet. I'm going to just leave it a little bit bigger. And then when I get it nearer the right size, I can trim it down a little bit more. So I'll just cut it nearer the size. That's not bad, that. I think I'll get a little a die and a little hammer, and we'll planishing hammer and see if I can smooth it out a little bit and get a little bit more curve in it. Right, now I thought I had a curved dolly with like a compound curve in it, but the only dollies I've got are only got a curve in one direction on one. So what I've got is just a piece of pipe here, which I've smoothed down, and I'm just using it to take out any dints to try and smooth it off a little bit. I don't know if you can see that very well, but we've just got a little bit of a curve on that, and it's just about enough for the headlight there. It seems right, so I'll cut that out and then we'll try welding that in place. Right, so I've dressed up the little grease tin I had. I've put it in there. I've got it held on the back by masking tape, which will probably cause a fire once it starts to get hot. And all I'm going to do is tack it in a few places, then try and weld it round. Right, so that's welded up there. It's slightly down a little bit in the middle, but it just gives us a little bit of sort of a little bit of room to add a little bit of filler on there and get it perfect, but it's filled the holes. So the next thing is to get in with plastic boxes, I suppose. I've already started on one. Now, as I said, I've got 3 of these little circuits, latch and relays. I've got the flasher relay and I've got the relay for the horn. What I think I'll do is just take the lid off this one. I've got that one to go in there, and I've left a little bit of room to get the cables in either side. These are screw internals, but I'll worry about all that when we come to do the final wiring. One of them, I think I'll leave a little bit longer so I can add this relay into one of them for the horn. So I'm still sticking with 3 of these boxes and not the 4th one. And the centre one, I could make that centre one a little bit longer and fit it in there. And then 2 either side. There's quite a lot of room in here. They're like the LED type lens reflector, doesn't take up a lot of room, so I have got quite a bit of room in here. So I'll make that one a little bit longer. Now I've left the ends here, a tab sticking out, and what I intend to do is, oh, your pen's not so good, is make them a little bit like that. So that I'll drill a hole in, and in here we'll weld some little bolts in, sticking up, so that I place them on and tighten them up to hold them in place. And they'll be up the top end there, so that any water that does get in is likely to run down to the bottom and not collect around those. So that's the idea. So I'm going to cut out 3 of these and get them ready to put in. Right, I've got all 3 cut out now. All I did with the plastic trunk urn was I cut down, but I left this little tab sticking out because that's what we're going to use to bolt it down with. I've drilled a hole in the side and I've put a slot there, and what I'm going to put in there is these sort of blind grommets, and that, and drill them out or punch them out to whatever size I want. And the end caps, I had to file down the lip off the bottom of the end caps so that they'll fit inside of there. So now they just need gluing together, and then, but I'm going to leave that for now. And what I'm going to do now is get these inside of the headlight. So I'm going to start off with the longest one. It's going to go in the centre there at the top, so it's going to be up there. And what I'm using is these little bolts, the little M4 bolts, and I'm going to weld them in place so that I can then bolt it down. So let's see, if we start off with the centre one, see if I can mark it. So I've got 6 bolts welded into there, ready for those to go on too. The next thing is this little flash unit. Now on the back it's got this little clip. So what I've done, I've getting a piece of thin steel plate and I've bent it into shape, so that's going to just slot onto there and it'll be somewhere to hold it. I'm going to put that onto the back, so I'm going to put roughly in the centre back there, in between, and then this can go in and clip onto it. So I'll just put a couple of tack welds onto there. So that's all 6 bolts in, and I've put the little bracket on there for the flash unit. So I'll just put them all in there and see what they look like when they're all together. So there we go, headlight all finished. If we just open it up, let's see. There's the 3 boxes there, and we've got the relay for the flash unit in there, all nice and secure. It's better having it there than having it just flapping about inside. So that's it for another week. Well, thanks again for watching, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Take care now.